The Messy Kitchen, where real food meets real life.
Where real food meets real life, simple meals and honest flavors, sweet and savory, side by side, nourishment for heart and body.
Welcome back. We're going to make some chicken salad. Yeah, we're going to use soy curls, but I've also made this same recipe with, again, welcome back. Anyway, I've made this salad with chickpeas for people who don't want to use meat substitutes, but I'm using the same soy curls that I used in the pineapple sunrise video. They're really good. They're extremely versatile and easy to use, but again, I've also used chickpeas that I just took. Basically, I used the ones out of the can, and I did boil them and made them softer and mashed them and got them to this consistency that I wanted. Back when I used to eat chicken, I don't know if you all have ever heard of Aldi's, but Aldi's had this apple, walnut, cranberry chicken salad that I absolutely loved. And so this is my spin on it. So I've rehydrated the soy curls, some Perk It Up, and in the water to kind of give it some flavor. I remembered that I also had some McKay's chicken seasoning that I could use to help give it a little more flavor also. So we're gonna kind of play with this as we go. I use the mayo from the condiments video, made with cashews, yummy. I use relish that you can see how to make that in the pickles and relish video, and then everything else is what it is. So we're gonna take some of the chicken and we're gonna put it in here. Let's see how much of a mess I make. While I'm doing this, let's talk about microwaves. OMG. So everybody knows microwaves are not good for you and all that. Did you know that there was a lawsuit in Oklahoma back in 91? 91 was not that long ago. This woman had a typical hip surgery, and the nurse heated up the blood. She had to have a blood transfusion. She heated up the blood in the microwave. It so thoroughly changed the blood that it caused the woman's death, and obviously a lawsuit. Anyway, these researchers in Swiss researchers, Blanc and Hertel, did some research. Now, it was a small study. It was only 8 people. Hertel used to work in the food industry. He was a biochemist, and he worked in the food industry, and he lost his job because he was questioning what they were doing and told them that they were denaturing the food. And so they were like, dude, we don't pay you to think, basically. And so they fired him. He hooked up with Blanc, and they worked together at the Swiss Federal Institute of Biochemistry and the University Institute of Biochemistry. They found that when people ate microwaved food, it caused anemia, among other things. Really what I'm doing here is just seasoning this a little more because I wasn't all that tickled with how seasoned. Well, basically it was still bland to me when I tasted it. Everybody got to taste what they taste for themselves. So anyway, back to what I was saying. They did some research. They found that not only did it cause anemia when people ate food that had been microwaved, it also raised their cholesterol level in things that don't even have cholesterol. Like, they found that people ate microwaved vegetables and it raised their cholesterol. Yeah, go figure. That was some crazy stuff. They went on to believe after that the cholesterol is more related to stress than actual food content of cholesterol, but you know, people are fighting with that concept. After World War II, some Russians got together and started investigating and researching the microwave back in, I think it started in 1957. I actually got this information out of a book. I might take a picture and add it to it so you can read this stuff for yourself. It was amazing. But anyway, after these Russian researchers started, they actually banned microwaves in Russia in 1976. Now, I don't know if they've changed since then, but really, right? So I have here like a cup of onions, a cup of cranberries, a cup of walnuts, a cup of apples. You can use as much or as little as you want to make yours. And you can actually use other things like celery. I did add some celery salt to this. And shout out to my co-worker who was able to taste that flavor when he tried the chicken naan salad. Shout out to my other co-worker. When he tried it, he was like, tastes like Mo. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, this is being made for some friends. Shout out to my gluten-free friends. You know who you are. Because obviously there is no gluten in what I'm using. I'm using soy curls, walnuts, cranberries, apples, onions. I'm going to start with a cup of the delicious mayo, but I'm probably going to use more than that. Anyway, what else was I telling you about the microwave? Oh, they were able to prove that it caused cancers, and it caused what they called new life radioactive compounds that they didn't know what that was. Yeah. It doesn't, the radioactive compounds are not naturally occurring in nature, so yeah. But it can cause cancer in you. Yeah. I know that the microwave is super handy, but I've gone back to old school way where you stick stuff in the stove, stick stuff in the oven. The air fryer is super handy. But I also have a life hack that I like, and I'll put things in a stainless steel or a glass bowl and add a little water, and then add boiling hot water from my tea kettle around it, and it heats it up really quickly, and no radioactive waves. Let's see, what else am I doing here? So right now, I like mine to be moist. So, and I like the juice off of the relish. And of course, I'm sweet and savory, so it's sweet relish. Anyway, what else did I want to tell you? I don't know. Anyway, I'm making some bread, homemade bread in the bread maker, and I'll eat this as a sandwich on the homemade bread. Also made some biscuits recently. They're pretty good, and I'll eat this with biscuits. Yeah, this is kind of cool. I have got a lot of rave reviews on this particular salad, so I make it frequently. Comment in the comment section for those of you who've tried it and liked it. Let the world know you want to make a mess and enjoy it. See you next time.